everyone, my name is May and welcome back to me. Basically, these are just the books that have caught my eye, and I'm not going to say whether any of them are particularly good or whether necessarily I'm going to pick them up, but they look interesting, and I feel like if I want to have a list of the books that I thought were interesting, here is my list. Before I start anything though, I want to talk about one particular book which was meant to have come out yesterday, but it hasn't. Particularly, Hachette Australia, I would like to talk to you. For those of you who are not following this book ardently, this book is Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. It's the third book in the Morrigan Crow series, and it was meant to have come out yesterday. Now, I pre-ordered this from an independent local bookseller, which is what you should be doing too if you're Australian, by the way, because we need to support our booksellers. Anyway, I didn't receive a call. Today I decided, why don't I call them and just check. Called them, and the bookseller was like, no, haha, about that funny story. Apparently, the publisher decided that they wanted to push it back all the way until July or August because they wanted to make it one big international release date. It had been about 2 hours since I discovered this information, and I've had enough time to kind of calm down a little bit. I've considered that maybe this is because the series is building enough momentum, they want to just have one big release date. You know, that makes sense. But at the same time, my rage is absolutely fuming because as an Australian, you don't actually get many Australian authors producing, decent works that I read all the time. And all the time, as an Australian, you're always getting a later release date, not to mention a massive postage date for everything. And it always sucks being in this country because you're so far from a lot of where all of the big action is happening. Patience is a virtue, Padawan. I don't care. I want my book now, and I'm really angry. While editing this video, I actually have just found this photo. Literally, the international release was like blah blah blah, so I don't know what happened here. Is it just that suddenly they found it needed some major edits? Like, what is going on? Just gonna pine all year until I get my book. I don't want to wait another 6 months to get my book, Like, I wanted my book now. I'm kind of going to give a really quick synopsis. I don't really like to read much blurbs into things. I really like to go into things blind. The first two books that I'm going to mention here actually have already come out, but I thought I'd quickly mention them. First one being Adam Silvera's Infinity Sun. This seems to be about two brothers, and there's people that kill magic, and then one of the brothers seems to manifest magic. Look, that's as much as I got. Everyone's raving about it. It has a dragon-y thing on the front. Sign me up. The second book is Dark and Deepest Red by Anna Marie McLemore. Now, this book looks really cool because it is a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Red Shoes. This book seems to be about several hundred years ago. There was this sickness where people would dance, women would dance until they died. And anyway, and then we've cycled forward like 500 years in the future, and now this girl has like a pair of red shoes and she starts dancing and they're like, oh no, she's gonna die. Next book is The Unspoken Name by A.K. Lockwood. Lockwood, definitely Lockwood. It's about a girl who knows exactly when she's going to die and how she's going to die because she is meant to be a sacrifice for her god. She is meant to climb up to the cave and die. Then, when she's almost about to do that, then some wizard guy comes along and is like, you know what's better than dying? Why don't you come and be an assassin, thief, spy, basically just do all the jobs. I want you as like my bitch to save the kingdom or something. Will you? And she's like, got nothing to lose. Anyway, and then I think she pisses off her deity and, apparently just decides that killing people is much better than being killed. Because, yeah, apparently that's kind. The next book is The Shadows Between Us by Trisica Levenseller. This is about a girl who wants to marry the prince and then kill the prince so she can have his land. The problem is that she has to keep him alive until she can marry him because other people also want to kill him in the meantime while she's busy doing the wooing thing. Look, again, I'm not a massive, love person. I'm still on the fence about romance in my books. The next book is The Kingdom of Back by Mary Lou. This looks absolutely amazing. The Kingdom of Back is something I super want to read. About Mozart's sister. They are both amazing musical geniuses, but the problem is she is a lady in that society and you can't really produce music really much. You're meant to just get married. As her brother is just out taking her all the time, broski. I know exactly how you feel. Man, my brother does that so much, so I know how you feel. Then someone comes and whisks her away to another magical world.
Because
that is my buzzword. Someone being whisked away to a magical world. Just, where do I sign? Alrighty, so we had to put this in here, but the next book is Chain of Gold by Cassie Clare. Last year, I basically got lied to by the internet in thinking this book was coming out, and thinking lots of books were coming out. The internet lied to me. Chain of Gold is apparently, though, coming out this year. It's basically more Shadowhunters, more redheads. I think Cassandra Clare just has a secret thing for redheads. We probably should tell her. She probably knows, actually. Anyway. Next Next book is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. This looks really cool. It's basically with the idea that cities have souls. New York City has about like 5 souls is what she's meant to have. And basically, for some reason, the city's under attack and 5 New Yorkers have to try and defend it. And look, I've never read anything by this woman, but it looks really cool and I kind of just want to read it. So... I've never read anything by Veronica Roth. The Chosen Ones coming out looks like it could be interesting. It's about people who have already saved the world and them trying to get back to their normal lives. Like, it could either, like, go really well or kind of just be meh. I may get to it. I may not. No, I have read a Veronica Roth and I hated it. Maybe we'll see. Actually, I now remember. I'll see how I go. I may not read it. Next book I'm actually incredibly intrigued about. This is Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova, which sounds a little bit like a pseudonym, but whatever. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. Anyway, this book is about a girl called Zenata, who is a memory thief for the king. I didn't really read much more of the Goodreads thing because Goodreads is really terrible at not giving away things that are important. But this sounds incredible. A memory thief is just, like, that's cool. Not only is it thieves, which I love, but it's also the idea that then you have amnesia. Conflict, man, just conflict. Feels like a conflict fueler. Next up, we have the book that everyone has been chittering about, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's set like 60-something years, 64, 65 years before the Hunger Games. So it's probably like her parents or her grandparents or something, or none of them. Is a prequel to the Hunger Games series. Everyone is very intrigued-faced, including me. I am intrigue-faced. Might get to it, might not. Technically then, at this point in the year, we now have Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend. I'm just so mad. I am so excited for this book, and I'm so mad, and it's like my lover has broken my heart and forgotten my birthday. Like, I'm not okay. Actually, if someone forgot I wouldn't be too upset. This is my favorite book series. Bring it out already. The next book caught my eye mostly because it's the same author as the person who wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This book is Perennicy, and it just looks like interesting. This book is about a house that apparently has like thousands of rooms in it and a massive ocean labyrinth. Did I read that wrong? Something. I love the weird fantastical. Sign me up. I love something that's weird and I don't know what it is and I can figure it out. And it just, if it feels a little bit like a cross between Alice in Wonderland and Strange the Dreamer, like, I'm here for it. This book also seems to not have a cover, and this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. E. Schwab has been wanting to write this book for ages, and she hasn't. And I can see why, because it's just a book which I think would definitely do really well with marinating in your head for a while before you write it. It's about a French girl who sells her soul to the devil, so therefore she can live forever. The devil's part of the bargain, though, is that everyone Addie meets will forget her. This is then based over several hundred years as I think Addie falls in love with the devil. I don't know if he reciprocates her feelings. Look, TBH, I think this sounds like not a very healthy looking relationship if you ask moi. But it sounds incredibly intriguing and very thought-provoking, at least to think about. Just guess the ideas, because that's what books and stories are about. Making us think, aren't they? Yeah. And then finally we have Brandon Sanderson's wonderful next book in the Stormlight Archive, which we don't know when he's gonna bestow really what it's called on us. I actually still haven't finished Oathbringer. I am very excited for this. Brandon Sanderson is my book writing bae, kinda, also because I watch all his lectures on writing books. Yeah, because I want to write books, that'd be fun. I need to just reread the first and then the second, then read Oathbringer so that I can be ready for the fourth book. But that's okay, because I'm going to follow along with the Stormlight Archives read-along, which is happening this year. So you should follow along that too. I'll leave it in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you next time. Please tell me what I've missed in the comments below, because despite that I researched, I didn't really research very much. Yeah, I'm pretty terrible at research. I just need some friends in publishing. Anyone want to be my friend who's in publishing? I will see you next time. Bye. Yeah. Are there just boxes of Hollowpox sitting in bookstores that cannot be sold for 6 months? Yay. I just hit myself in the face.